You know, the State of the Union speech last night, I thought was incredibly disconnected and out of touch. And Biden referenced a number of the challenges in this country, but he took no responsibility for any of them. He talked about inflation. He didn't acknowledge the trillions in new spending and debt that's driving inflation. He talked about gas prices going up. He didn't acknowledge his policies that are destroying the domestic energy market. And when it came to Ukraine, he didn't acknowledge the direct responsibility he bears for the Russian invasion of Ukraine because of two things. Number one, last year, the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan, the surrender to the Taliban. Every enemy of America took the measure of the man in the Oval Office, and they determined, unfortunately, that the president was weak and feckless and ineffective. And that's a big part of the reason Russia invaded Ukraine. But secondly, Joe Biden specifically made a series of concessions to Putin and Russia, most notably waiving sanctions on Nord Stream 2, the pipeline that Putin was building to go around Ukraine to enable the invasion of Ukraine. I authored those sanctions in the Senate, passed them into law. Donald Trump signed them into law, and it stopped Nord Stream 2 until Joe Biden came into office, surrendered to Putin, gave him the pipeline, and caused the invasion. Biden admits no responsibility for anything. And, you know, the sentiments that were just expressed a second ago, I very much agree. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and this administration are resigned to Putin winning. There's no resolve to win. There's no focus on how do we stop Putin from taking over and conquering Ukraine. And the way we do so is twofold. Number one, we use economic power, massive economic sanctions. Biden has exempted, as you noted, energy. He's exempted oil and gas. Right. Oil and gas is where Putin gets all of his revenue. We need to be boycotting Russian energy and leading the world in a boycott of Russian energy to cut off the cash to Putin. And number two, we need to be doing much more to provide military aid to Ukraine, not American soldiers. American soldiers should not be fighting the Russians, but we ought to be providing Stingers and Javelins because the Ukrainians are heroically defending their own homeland.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people. He'll never extinguish their love of freedom.